Welcome to this very special edition of The Author's Voice with KJ, a show where we explore the stories behind the stories. Here we dive into the worlds created by authors, discover their inspirations, and ensure that you, our audience, walk away enriched and inspired. And today we have Dr. John Chanaca, founder of MJChanacapublishing LLC, a family publishing company where they focus on creating heartwarming educational stories that emphasize positive family values and parenting aids. Welcome to the show, Dr. John.
Thank you so much, KJ. Enjoy it.
Welcome. Welcome to the show. Welcome to this special show, The Author's Voice with KJ. And today we'll be talking about your book, Power Parenting, and that. So, first of all, straightway to the book itself, Dr. John Chanaka, is that, tell us a bit about this Parenting series. What inspired you to, write this sort of a book? We'll love to understand that.
Right. Well, after 42 years in the public schools, teaching and counseling, I learned a lot about meeting with parents and figuring out just what was on their mind, their concerns, and so on. Dealt with a lot of parents, especially the last 25 years as a counselor. Also, I ran a Christian marriage and family practice. Plus, Jane and I have been married for 55 years. We have 2 children and 3 grandchildren, and they seem to be doing really well. And so with all these experiences and so on, we started to put together children's books, but also I wanted to put down a parenting section in our publishing company. So we started to work on the parenting books and put down some of the thoughts that I had. And this is a little bit different slant, KJ. The slant I have is nurturing successful students in the modern world, and just the kinds of things parents need to do to be able to develop super students, excellent students, successful students, and and also improve their own lives, become better parents because of it, doing 2 things at one time, becoming better parents and teaching their children really how to be great students and how to support that. So that was the background and the emphasis that we had. Oddly enough, my father's life, which was a very difficult life, he was never saw his mother. They came over from Greece, and my grandmother, his mother, died shortly after my father was born. He was raised by lots of different family members and situations. By 16 years old, he was involved in crime and all kinds of things, and basically turned his life around. When I was born, he was a totally different person. And I asked him once, I said, "Dad, how is it that you are so loving and kind and you just seem to be the ideal father and so on with such a terrible life, such a crazy turned up life?" And he said, "Well, John, I just did the opposite of what was done to me." So basically, as a teacher, my father probably was the greatest teacher in terms of how to run a family, how to love his wife, how to raise children, how to show love to his children, kindness, listening, all those good things, And I was the beneficiary of that. So I was raised by 2 wonderful parents. And then, of course, went into education and learned a lot more as I started to find out other people and their trials and situations as parents. So yeah, we developed 3 books, first of all. And those are the 3. They're short. These are short books. I wanted to do it in little sections first. First came the Survival Guide for Parents Part 1. You can see this guy does need help. He's holding on to a flagpole there and being flown away. And then I went into Survival Guide Part 2. And you can see there's a tsunami coming. And this parent is got an umbrella. I don't think that's going to help very much. And then Survival Guide Part 3, where she's walking into a tornado as a mother and just about ready to give up. So we put these 3 books together, and we came up with a book called Power Parenting right here.
Right.
And that's what we're talking about today, this new book. These are also some of the other books we're having come out in 2025. But this is the one we're going to be talking about today right here.
Right. So tell us a bit more about, you showed us 3 books. The lady walking into the tornado, then the man lying flat, then there's the umbrella. So tell us about those books.
Okay. What I did was I tried to break up just what power parenting is all about. How can you be effective with your children? How can you nurture them in their studies and their learning? And how can you grow as a parent, your own character, grow at the same time? And what I came down with was there's actually about 8 skills that teachers, and I don't care if you live in India. I know India has some very fine students, wonderful students. I've been to Japan. There's some excellent students in Japan. But of course, I've taught in the United States, both in Pennsylvania and South Carolina, in the elementary schools and also in colleges, university. There's some wonderful students, and teachers all agree all across the whole world that there's probably 8 skills that students bring to them that they recognize as being excellent students. They're superior students. And these 8 skills are pretty much the key to the kids' success, the children's success. Now, it's best in the elementary school to get involved in these things because obviously it becomes a habit. But here's some of the ones I want to share with you. For example, one thing researchers have found out that one thing good students do all the time is they listen, obey, and trust their teacher. The word teacher is very important. We learn very little without a teacher. Your first teacher is your parents, should be your parents or grandparents, but it's those people that are close around you. And then, of course, if we go to public school or we go to other private school, we go to other kinds of schools, we get other teachers. So without a teacher and instructor, you're lost. You can have all the skill in the world, but unless you have someone who is sitting on the other side, talking to you, giving you hints, correcting you, you're kind of doing it all by yourself. You're kind of lost. And so one of the rules of a good student would be, I need to listen to this person. I need to trust them and obey whatever they're telling me. Usually, more than usually, 100%, the teacher knows more than you do, okay? They've been there. They understand what you're learning. They have experiences and so on. So there's a respect there that has to be involved. And parents can be vital to provide that instruction to their children that you need to listen to your teacher, obey them, and trust them. The second one is raising your hand to be able to speak. Okay, now we're talking about group learning mostly, but that shows, again, respect. We're going to talk about respect a lot here. So respecting other students when their hands are up, when your hand is up, that's why you raise your hand. You don't call out, yell out, scream out. You listen to the teacher. When she asks a question, you raise your hand. I will think along with the speakers, number 3. And that's extremely important. You're listening to the teacher and you're thinking along when she's speaking about the subject she's talking about. If another student raises his hand and you're listening to him, whatever he's contributing. And number 4 is I prepared for my work, always being prepared. I noticed you were extremely prepared when I got online here, okay? You had things ready and so on. You had questions. You had a kind, I will be prepared for my work as a of a is evidence of a good student, a successful student. I'll give my best. Giving your best. That's all a teacher can ask from you, is that you give your best. Number 6, I will finish all my work. Number 7, I will work out problems with others. When you have difficulties in school, in a public setting, I will work out problems with them. And if you can't, I will go to someone else, a teacher or an instructor, to help you work through it. And number 8, I will have a positive, healthy attitude, which is extremely important in life. Okay. I'm 77 years old. I've grown children, grandchildren. I know you have a lot of life under your belt too, but having an extremely positive attitude about life and about possibilities is very important. And it's the same it is for a student, because you're going to run into problems. I guarantee you're going to be running into problems. I once heard that life is compared to like running through a briar patch. No one goes through without getting cut, hurt, bruised, and that's the way life is. Okay, so we have to be prepared for that as a parent and as a student also. So those 8 skills are the things that parents need to focus on. Teachers are looking for those things in students, and that's what defines really a great student. Not a student who makes A's or 100 or has the top of the. That's not necessarily a great student. But anyone who does these things, number 1, is going to learn. Okay, is going to be prepared for the work. Is going to learn. There's respect going to be shown. But learning is a funny thing. You don't really have to teach a child to learn. Okay, that's a natural thing. It's a natural thing that children do. They do learn. But what are you teaching them, and what are they doing to promote their learning? So, how does a parent use these skills, teach these skills? How do they insist on these skills uh, in this modern world for their children? Young children, best first to do it first. Uh, and we came down with certain beliefs, 6 beliefs, and 6 strategies that they could use to drive these skills home, which will make them a better person as they go through this process. Yeah.
Right, right, Dr. John. So, when is this book coming out, or it's already in the market?
Okay, it's finished, but I'm going to wait until the spring for it to come on out. We're also going to make it a course. Okay, we're going to develop a course with it. But all these skills and strategies, belief systems, and everything are built into this book called Power Parenting. And what's nice about it also is the parent realizes that by doing these things, by involving themselves with this, their life is actually going to be changed too. They're going to become a better person. They're going to feel better about their parenting. Parenting is an amazing thing. It doesn't come with a handbook. Do you have children, KJ?
No, no.
No children. Okay. The people that are listening, your listeners, if they think about their parenting, like what are they doing with their children? How are they treating them? What are they saying to them? What are they doing? If they look carefully, it's probably a lot about the way they were treated, the way they were raised. That's the first thing you go for. Like here you are, husband and wife, you have a child, beautiful little baby, a new life, and you have to raise it. Okay. It took 9 months to have the baby, and all of a sudden there it is in front of you. Okay. And so, what do you do? What do you say? Who can help you with that? Hopefully you have mentors, you have other people in your family, grandparents, relatives, and so on who can help. A lot of people they don't have people to help them. So they don't know where to start. They love the child is growing, the child's doing things that as a child grows, is doing things that they don't want them to do. The child is being selfish. The child is being unkind. The child is being disrespectful, and they don't know how to change it, how to deal with it, they don't have the tools to be able to do it. So they yell, they scream, they hit, they do all kinds of stuff, and it doesn't seem to be working. The child gets mad, and they have this terrible tension and problems, and it becomes a source of problem not only for the parent and the child, but for the marriage, for whoever's living in the house, whether it's grandparents or aunts or uncles or the community. So parenting is a very important thing, and we're losing ground on it. Okay, we're losing ground. Evidence in the United States proves that. Okay, that we're between the drugs and the crime and kids running away and problems with disrespect in the classroom. So it's a growing problem. Sure is.
Absolutely. So I want to understand what was the most difficult part, challenging part of writing this book?
Well, it's looking at yourself. I think that's the most, anytime you write something like this, you have to say, well, what kind of a parent am I? What kind of a parent, grandparent am I? Am I doing these things? And that's part of the growth that I was talking to you about, KJ. For example, if you tell your child or your grandchild to be honest, and they hear you on the phone lying and cheating and telling lies to somebody you're working, a coworker or somebody you're working with, there's a conflict there. The child's thinking, my father just told me to be honest because I lied to him, and I'm listening to him on the phone right now, and he's lying to his boss. What about that? So do you see what I'm trying to say? Is that I feel that God has given us 3 times to grow up. The first time is when you grow up. Now, I don't know your situation, KJ, how you grew up, your father, mother. Did you have brothers and sisters?
Yes, very good, great childhood.
Oh, you did?
Indeed. You did,
Fa-
and lots of big family, joint family, lots of people, lots of
okay.
cousins, brothers, sisters, lots of people.
Father and mother were loving people.
Yes,
They loved.
yes. Of course.
Wonderful. A lot of kids don't have that. Okay, they don't have that. And so parents are mixed up, or they're selfish, or they're so involved in what they're doing, making money or trying to survive or whatever else they're trying to do. So a lot of parents don't realize that their children are their legacy. Okay, their children are their future. Their children. That's the only thing you really have that you're going to pass on. You're going to lose those cars. They're going to rust. Their money is going to go away. When you die, someone else is going to get your money. So the only thing you really have are those people you're dealing with. And so if you're an uncle or an aunt and you're helping to raise, or if you're being involved, that's the most important thing you can do, is parenting, mentoring, loving, caring. And if you're not doing that, you're losing out. So as you are raising children, you said, what's the most difficult thing? It's going through all of this and saying, well, what kind of a grandfather am I? Am I being honest? Am I being loving? Am I being respectful? Am I being caring? Am I showing, and that's the key word, showing, not telling. Am I telling and showing my children and my grandchildren these qualities, these characteristics, these attributes that I'm trying to instill in them? If I want my child to be kind and loving, respectful, am I like that? Is that something that I do? Do they see that in me? So it's a refining process. It's a forge. It's a beating out and a clearing out. So you're not only raising your children and your grandchildren, you are you're raising yourself. You're refining yourself, trying to become better and better and better. Now, if you don't care about that stuff, if that stuff doesn't mean anything to you, well, there you go. You're going to have not. You're going to die alone. That's how you're going to die all by yourself. Okay, and you know, people. What are they going to say about you when you're dead? Well, he was so selfish. He didn't think about me. Never cared for me. He was always doing his own thing. You know, that's what you're going to have. So this is important, very important. The legacy, the kind of life you live, has eternal consequences. It has consequences for your children and your grandchildren as they model how they're supposed to live and raise their children and grandchildren. And so this power parenting idea is a strong one. I'm not the only one who's ever talked about this, okay? But it needs to be said and resaid. Sure does.
Absolutely. So, in a nutshell, what key message would you want your readers to take away whenever they read this book?
Well, that parenting is probably the most important thing you'll ever do. Okay, it's extremely important. If in your case, for example, where if you don't have children, well, there's other people you can mentor and you can be involved with that'll be significant, whether it's your your cousins or nieces or nephews or other people that touch your life. You know, you people have got to have models. They've got to have people they look up to, people they model their life after. They've got to have examples. So I would say to you that the most important thing you can ever do is be a parent, a loving, kind parent that believes in your children, that believes that what you're doing, you're destined and chosen to do what you're doing, okay? And that you need to be doing it to the very best you can do it with all you're going to make mistakes. And one thing I love about parenting is that you can make lots of mistakes as long as you're apologizing for them, okay? And you can children still hook onto that. You don't have to be a perfect parent. The name of this book is not Perfect Parenting, it's Power Parenting, okay? And I've got to say this. Have you ever watched those ice skating competitions? They're worldwide. You know, when those
Yes, a
people,
bit.
when those ice skaters fall down, okay, they're finished. That's it. They don't get 10.0. You know, they're not going to win the contest, okay? If they fall once or twice, forget it. Parenting is more like golf. Do you know what golf is? Have you ever seen golf?
Yes, Doctor.
Okay. Do you see where I'm going with this? In golf, you get lots of chances. The first shot you have, if you ever watch a golf tournament, you might hit it right down the middle of the fairway. It's beautiful, good shot. Oh, it's wonderful. The next shot you may hit, it's in the woods. That's a mistake. But you haven't lost the game yet. You haven't lost the tournament. You haven't lost. You just lay another ball out and you hit it again. And that's the way parenting is. It's the same way. You get chance after chance after chance. So if you make a mistake, what do? You apologize. You tell your son or your daughter, I'm sorry. You heard me lie on the phone, and I was wrong. I shouldn't have done that. I'm going to fix that with the person I lied with. And when I was telling you about not lying and being honest, I meant it. It's wrong. And I'm telling you, I'm sorry. Well, all of a sudden, the child you just spoke to right there, you're gained tremendous distance in his eyes or her eyes as a father or a mother. If you can apologize like that and say, you're sorry, I did wrong. I'm going to correct it. I'm going to become better. So do you see how your children can help you grow? But if you have the attitude of, hey, I'm the parent, I do what I want to do. That child needs to listen to me, and they need to be good, but I can do what I want to do. If that's your attitude, good luck. Good luck with parenting, okay? you're gonna get what you sow. Okay, you're gonna reap what you sow. So that's my message. That would be the last thing I could kind of talk about that. But power parenting is different, and I'd love to have your audience, your listeners, look into it.
Absolutely, absolutely. There is so much to learn from you, and there will be so much to learn from power parenting. I'm sure a lot of people would want to know that. So, how do they get their hands on this particular book, and when can they expect it, and how do they get in touch with you?
Good. All our books are on our website, which is www.mjchanaca, that's MJChanaca publishing, publishing.com. They're all there. And Power Parenting will be out in the spring. But these other three books that we talked about are the basis of the book. And they will have, 75% of what's in Power Parenting will be in these books. By the way, I'll let your listeners know if they go to our website and sign up, I'll make sure that they get free copies of these books, okay? I'll send them free copies. Anyone who signs up on our website, we 4 times a year give all our books out for free. 4 times a year. We just finished with one, and we'll do it again in the spring. So all they need to do is sign up for the launch team and become a member of our newsletter, and we'll send them free books.
Wonderful,
We'd love to have them.
wonderful. With this, it's a wrap on this special edition of the Author's Voice with KAJ. Thank you so much indeed for joining us.
Thank you.